What up, world? As promised, another album review. I'm telling you, like all the dopest motherfuckers in hip hop just conspired around the same time in summer. Like man, let's swamp this motherfucker Randy Little with all these damn reviews. J. Cole, Mac Miller, Kanye, Wale, Jay Z, man. But obviously, Wale, the gifted. Um, this is third album overall, second since he been on MMG. Um, I mean it's not much to say, man. Attention Deficit was dope as fuck, highly underrated. I liked Ambition, just not as much as the first one. So I mean, without any more stalling, man. Track number one is called "The Curse of the Gifted," produced by Sean C and LV. It starts off with a little skit where these dudes are like vandalizing a fictional Wale statue, and it's just it's just a symbol really to say like the more success that you get, the more hate that you gonna get, and at the same time, the track overall is talking about progression, trying to be better. No matter how much you achieve, it's never enough. You always want to do more. You always have bigger goals. There's always more that you want to accomplish. Um, it's dope, man. Wale flow and Wale lyrics, man. The shit that Wale bars is just crazy to me. Cause like out of the whole batch of new rappers that are lyrical that all dropped, I want to say around '09. I mean, for Asher Roth, Kid Cudi, B.O.B., Wale, J. Cole, cats like that. Wale was always one of the standouts to me, man. Track number two, Love Hate Thing, featuring Sam Dew. Man, he talking about love for a city. He from DC, DMV. He also talking about how success brings hate, kind of like the first track. And you know, he touches a little bit on relationships and shit. And like the way that he like enunciated the chorus, man, that shit was just so flawless. Just the way that he made everything rhyme and shit. I mean, it was dope as fuck to me. This was also a single. I think it's the second single. I think Love Hate Thing is the second single. I mean, it's solid for a radio jam. It's pretty good. Track number three is called Sunshine. And mainly on Sunshine, man, Wale, he's talking about settling down. He got a few tracks on this album where he's talking about like finding a regular chick and settling down. So it kind of made me wonder, like, is this somebody back in DC that Wale kind of like left like back, you know what I'm saying, when he made it, and now like old feelings is bubbling to the surface and shit. Track number four is called Heaven's Afternoon. It's featuring Meek Mill, and Wale is talking about progression. He's talking about growth, which is a big theme throughout this whole album. I mean, he's speaking on coming from nothing and just making it. And like that's everybody's dream right there, to be able to say that you come from the bottom and accomplish your fucking goals. And Meek Mill is on here, like I said, and he's talking about the same shit to an extent. I dislike Meek Mill. If you follow my album reviews, I'm not a Meek Mill fan. I don't like his style. Like just the way that he always screaming at some shit. I don't know why, but he got that high pitched flow, that delivery. It's his delivery that I don't fuck with. Track number five is called Gold Salvation, Jesus Peace. And this carries the same themes and the same vibe as J. Cole did on Chaining Day. And I wonder if they was just chopping it up, like, man, let's both just make jewelry records about the perception of jewelry, motherfuckers is draped in jewels, and see who shit come out better. Cause I mean, this shit, Gold Salvation, I don't remember exactly word for word what he said, but it was something along the lines of like, Jesus gave himself up for us, now we giving it up for him or some shit. Wale said it a lot better, and like it was dope the way that he worded the shit. But yeah, man, just like Training Day, it's like you see a motherfucker like with you know what I'm saying, a Jesus piece, chains, whatever, and they're perceived as wealthy, as successful, this, that, and the third. And if you ain't got no chains, you perceived as broke. But like I said in my J. Cole review too, I don't give a fuck. If I look broke, I look broke. Fuck it. Track number 6 is called Vanity, and it's another record. It's Wale is really just talking about stunting. Like that's all I wrote down, man. It's a dope ass track. Wale is just talking about stunting. Track number 7 is called Gullible. It's got CeeLo on it, and basically this track, to me, what I gather, Wale is talking about just society in general. If you hear it from the government, if they say it, it must be true. Just cause motherfuckers in the know said that shit. Fuck that shit, man. Make your own decisions based on facts that you gather. That's what I'm talking about. At first, the way he talking about, he said TV killed the radio, then the internet slit the television throat. You know what I'm saying? Like different ways that that the media is getting to just random, everyday, blue collar, average motherfuckers. And with that being said, it at first kind of reminded me of TV and the radio from attention deficit, but it's not exactly saying the same shit. Track number 8 is called Bricks. And I would say for like the next 3 tracks, this is kind of where the album loses its overall focus. Bricks is featuring Yo Gotti and Life Jennings. And Life Jennings, like, he kind of just harmonizes on like some background vocals and shit. It's not really talking about drugs. I mean, it's talking about drugs, but it's also like talking about like basketball players bricking jump shots. Yo Gotti even says shit about construction. So it's not just like bricks as in drugs, as in weight. You know what I'm saying? Like it speaks on, you know what I'm saying? It speaks on like success and failure and shit like that. And just like Meek Mill, man, Yo Gotti was cool. His verse was straight. I'm just not a fan, so I just, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm listening to what he's saying. It didn't hit me. Track number 9 is called Clappers. I think this is in the process of becoming a single. It features Nicki Minaj. It features Juicy J. It's a straight club track. And I'm not a motherfucker for club tracks. So, you know what I'm saying? This isn't, you know what I'm saying, a track made for my demographic, motherfuckers who are all about bars. I mean, it's a club track. Clappers. It's talking about fat booty bitches. You talking about fat booty bitches these days. I mean, the cliche thing to do is to grab Nicki Minaj. She ain't talking about shit. She's another motherfucker like Meek Mill. Like I despise her delivery. It's her, like she rhymes, I guess, bigger words, so it make it sound like she's talking about some shit. And it's not, man. Like I don't even know where to begin. Just like I said in the Grown Ups review, I could do a whole video talking about why I don't like Nicki Minaj. But I'm not gonna do that shit. I just didn't like her verse. Juicy J, same thing. He was talking about the same Juicy J shit. I mean, maybe, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm 27 years old. Maybe when I was like 22, 21 and shit, I could have got with some Juicy J. Just today, I don't fuck with it. So track number 10 is the Bad Remix. And it's not a bad remix. It's actually a dope remix. I fuck with it. It's featuring Rihanna instead of Tierra Thomas. And it's on here solely because it's Rihanna. I think if anybody else would have got on this motherfucker, like a lesser known chick, it probably would have just got leaked to radio, not even put on the album. But yeah, like the hook is damn near identical to the original. And there's portions where Rihanna like tries to like rap back and forth with Wale. I really wasn't a fan of that shit. Other than that though, like it was dope. Like, man, it's just something about Rihanna's voice, man. You know, y'all know what I'm talking about. Track number 11 is called Tired of Dreaming. It's featuring Neo. It's featuring Rick Ross. Ross only feature. And Wale is talking about, like I said before, maybe he's talking about a chick from back home, you know what I'm saying, that's away from the fame, that's away from the cameras, that's away from the paparazzi and shit. And I mean, yeah, like maybe it's a chick that he like buried feelings for, that they coming back up, so he felt like he wanted to incorporate it into his music and shit. And Neo's chorus does a good job of echoing what he's talking about. And then Ross, man, like, he's talking about the same shit, but he tried to make that shit seem too illegal, I guess, too exotic, too gangster, like. And like, I don't want to say Ross spit a bad verse. It was just boring to me, man. It was just the same shit that Ross be talking about. I don't know, man. I just gotta shrug Ross verse off on that shit. Track number 12 is called Rotation, and it's featuring Wiz Khalifa. It's featuring 2 Chainz. I think this shit was leaked to radio. I'm not sure if it's a single. I don't know if a video is getting made for it. And I hear rotation, and I'm thinking about motherfuckers passing around blunts. And that's what the chorus says: 5 blunts in rotation, 5 blunts in rotation. And 2 Chainz spits first, and he's not really talking about smoking. I mean, he's talking about 2 Chainz is talking about money. 2 Chainz, you know what I'm saying? He touches a little bit on smoking. That don't mean like he's staying on the topic of keeping shit in rotation. He ain't even talking about like having music in rotation. Like, it's kind of like Nicki. It's kind of like Meek Mill. Like, they're okay. They're like, their bars and their lyrics just like aren't up to shit that I would call dope. Same thing with Wiz. He says some shit about keeping joints in rotation. Like his first 2 or 4 bars is talking about keeping joints in rotation, keeping ass in rotation, keeping his music in rotation. And then I think he talked a little bit more about smoking. Like, off the top of my head, I really don't remember his verse thoroughly. I just remember that it was okay. Like, I think Cushion OJ Wiz Khalifa is gone. I think now we stuck with ONIFC Wiz Khalifa, who's just trying to make pop records. Like, Wale is talking about his clique. He's talking about DC. He's talking about his boys and his people around. He's talking about having money. Like Wale talks a lot about getting paid on this album, but he doesn't make it one of the main topics of his whole album, which is some shit I like about Wale, because there's too many rappers these days that want to make their album solely about having money and being paid. Like, that's probably the last of like the unfocused tracks on the album, in my opinion. Which, I mean, it's a good portion of the album that was in that was in that little gap of tracks. But track number 13 is called Simple Man. This is where the album picks focus back up. It's called Simple Man, and I want to say that it has like some portions of Ambitions as a Writer in there, because he took a couple bars from that chorus. But he's talking about his clique again. He's talking about DC, DMV, being home, Board of Administration. But it's more of some watch who's around you type shit. And I mean, anybody can relate to that, man, because you don't want to keep no dishonest, untrustworthy motherfuckers around you. Track 14 is called 88. And 88 is one of the doper tracks on the whole album, because he's talking about being great like Jordan. And Jordan greatness, while he was drafted in '85, like he really came into his own in 1988. He talking about buying threes for the whole team. The Jordan threes come out in 1988. He talking about never be MJ in 17s, which the 17s come out in '02. I think Jordan last season with the Wizards was in '02. So I mean, this is one of the doper tracks on the whole album. Track 15, Black Heroes / outro about nothing. First off, Black Heroes. He talking about he didn't really have like no idols to look up to, is what I understood. Like he touched on Barry Sanders. I think he said some shit like Robert Townsend was like the last cat that he really had to look up to and be an inspiration for him. So he wants to be an inspiration for the youth. And then he said Robert Townsend, and then like he transitioned his line with "Me to Your Man," but he was talking to a chick, "Me to Your Man," but he enunciated "Me to Your Man," like shit like that. That's why I fuck with Wale. That's why that shit right there is dope as fuck. And then the outro about nothing is really just Jerry Seinfeld in the studio. Like he was confused with some shit. I don't know if they sketched it like this or if it was like genuine. But Seinfeld came in to record for Wale next album, the album about nothing. But he was sitting there like, Jerry, man, this is the gifted session. This is for my current album. And Jerry talking about, man, I'm ready to go right now. Let's do this right now. Let's go. Which brings me to a little segue that I want to speak on. Wale next album is called The Album About Nothing. And the mixtape About Nothing is what put me onto Wale. One of my favorite mixtapes ever. And I mean, like, I love the mixtape About Nothing. I like more About Nothing. So, to me, to Seinfeld hip-hop head, the album About Nothing has potential to be Wale's best album. So the last track is called "It's Bad." It's the original. It's the original version with Tiara Thomas on it. She sing the hook. And anybody who know where Tiara Thomas from. If you don't know, now you know. Indianapolis, what up? This beat, man, the whole beat has that little bed squeaking in it, and like it's dope for this track, but it reminds me of Trillville back like 10 years ago. Oh, but I can't think of the album title. I can't think of the song that shit was, man. If you know the Trill, like it was Trillville's first single, man. If you know what I'm talking about, let me know, man. On the album with Lil Scrappy. And they talking about the chorus is talking about like I'm good in bed, but I could be bad for you. So I take that shit like while the sex might be good, this chick is gonna ruin your life type shit. Like it's on some like people want what they don't need, you know what I mean? Like a lot of people want what they don't need. Like if my chick, man, she compliments me, you know what I'm saying? Like I like to stay at home. I like to chill. She likes to stay at home and chill, you know what I'm saying? And we just be hanging out. And like some people, it's motherfuckers who like, you know, like I don't know how really to put it into words. You look for that thing that's gonna fuck your shit up basically. And this was the first single. This was on the Falarin mixtape. This track is dope as hell to me. I'm glad Wale found an artist that was from Indianapolis, give her some shine. But on a side note, she got a deal with another label, but they still collaborating and making music and shit. With that being said, man, The Gifted, in my opinion, it's dope. Wale lyrics are always on point. So Wale lyrics is dope as fuck. I like a majority of these beats. It's just the features is what kept it from diggity dope, man. Just like I can fuck with Wiz. I'm not a 2 Chainz fan. I'm the Rihanna track like, solely for attention, I guess. I'm Juicy J, Nicki, Meek Mill, Yo Gotti. So my question to y'all, man, what's your favorite track on this motherfucker? I'm gonna have to go with like 88, Tired of Dreaming, Vanity, Gullible, somewhere around there. Your favorite Wale album? I think mine is Attention Deficit, man. Attention Deficit is one of the most underrated albums. Randy Little Music on Facebook. Jay-Z, Magna Carta, Holy Grail review coming. Turbo, RIPD, Red 2 within the next few days. I've been so busy, man. I just haven't had time to focus on my own flows. But stay tuned, you know what I'm saying? And peace.